going on, Jeromes? So no one told you life was going to be this way. So the 3-4 start was certainly not what the Vikings were envisioning starting the season, where you just felt so good about things, where the Vikings triple down in the trenches, developing J.J. McCarthy, building an FU offensive line, a great run game, weapons all over the place, as well as defense. We after that ass. Just a pass rush, covering up a secondary, and everything was going to be good to go. But it just hasn't worked out so far. Right? But injuries, everything, nonsense. But it's still early. The Vikings aren't dead. They're 3-4. They're not 1-6. All right. So, but here are 10 disappointments for the Vikings so far this season. Number 1, O'Connell and Flores. All right. So we even said it first couple games with McCarthy, where just didn't like the play calling, so, sort of babying McCarthy, the run, pass, punt thing. And also, you do have to throw in run game coordinator Curtis Motkins, running backs coach as well. Like the run games, ever since O'Connell's got here and Motkins got here in 2022, haven't been very good, haven't been very consistent, right? And Flores, the defense cannot stop the run or the pass. But other than that, we're really, really good. Right. And also the Vikings offense this year, they're 27th in the league on third down, only 1/3 of the time, as well as they're 20th in red zone, 1 for 6, notably against the Eagles. And it should become a joke and a meme at this point, which I do not care for. Right. And trust them to turn things around. I mean, they're great coaches that have done great things here in the great state of Minnesota before, and trust that they will again. But it's also, so I feel like there's a pretty thick line of just hating on and criticizing just to hate on and criticize, but more of we have higher expectations and you are not meeting those expectations or standards. That's where we're at right now with basically the entire team. Right. Next, number 2, the handling of Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill. So O'Neill actually has left knee pain after playing all 69 snaps nice against the Eagles because of his right sprained MCL he's come back from, and he missed the short week Thursday night game against San Diego, or Los Angeles, whatever. They're moving back to San Diego. Now, would O'Neill have been able to play on Sunday? TBD, doesn't really matter. And the whole, I get the idea of, hey, we need to strap it up and get ready to go because our season is on the line. But if you're putting players in a spot where they're not 100% and with a high likeliness of backsliding and re-injury, it's not great. Also with Darrisaw, getting pulled with pitch count from the Browns game, I'm starting to think that he didn't feel right towards the end of the Browns game, right? And O'Connell was kind of doing cover for him. And Darrisaw is one of the best left tackles in the game. He hasn't played a full healthy season at any point in his NFL career. And you want him to be at his best. And it was clear Thursday night he was not at his best. So either you're healthy or you're not. Right? And the idea of pulling him after two series, it's ridiculous. So then you had Walter Rouse and you had School going from right tackle to left tackle, and it's just a mess, right? So you have 2 cornerstone pieces of the offensive line. The offensive line has been a mess all season, and I do not like the way that the medical staff, Chris Cooper, Kevin O'Connell, are handling things right now. Next up, number 3, Kevin O'Connell working with the quarterbacks. Besides basically sacrificing Carson Wentz to the football gods, just letting him get beat to hell. The first 2 weeks of babying J.J. McCarthy outside the fourth quarter against the Bears, letting him throw. Carson Wentz, not catering to the offensive line or the reality of things that are going on, not catering to his strengths either. Carson Wentz is not your think long, think wrong type quarterback. He is. Not playing Brosmer at all in a spot where Carson Wentz clearly was not fit for duty. He was not, I just said duty. He was not going to be able to get the Vikings back into the Chargers game. And the whole notion of, while I was trying to protect Max Brosmer from a bad offensive line, you literally have a player who's injured in Carson Wentz, right? And you have a quick release quarterback with Brosmer. Plus, things aren't always going to be sunshine and rainbows. So getting a couple of reps under duress might not be a bad thing, right? And when McCarthy comes back, just let the kid sling the pill, man. Because not everything's going to be perfect. The offensive line might be back, it might not be, right? And just let him get after it. Next up, number 4, Harrison Smith and Adam Thielen. So they were supposed to be accent pieces, and Harrison Smith has worked his way back into full fitness and full duty on the back end, just said duty again. And Harrison has just shown that he's a step slow on everything, right? Things that used to be a PBU no longer are. Things that used to be an interception no longer are. And especially against the Chargers, like the middle of the field was wide open all day. And that's part Harrison, that's part Theo Jackson, that's part Metellus. And then they got Thielen. So Thielen was brought aboard just to basically bridge the 3-game absence of Addison, right? And also Naylor's playing out of his mind as well. But the fact that Thielen only has 5 catches of 47 yards on 12 targets. Yes, all 5 were first downs. Also had a couple of notable drops. Yeah. Next up, number 5, Hockenson. So I realize that Hockenson has been asked to chip a lot more, right? And is going to be asked to chip a lot more with Josh Oliver dinged up. But with Hockenson, he's second on the team in catches at 27. He's second on the team in targets at 36, but only 222 receiving yards and a touchdown. And it just seems like you want more, especially with Wentz under duress, especially with J.J. McCarthy early on without Addison. Like Hockenson has just not been Hockenson, and I think it is a watershed moment where, Hawkinson's under contract for a couple more years. There's no more guaranteed money. I could easily see the Vikings moving on this offseason, whether a cut or a trade or a pay cut, and allocating that cap to pay Addison, which frankly I think they should. Next up, number 6, the O-line and O-line accessories. So we have not seen a single down of the planned first-team offensive line. Ryan Kelly's been out. Donovan Jackson missed 3 games because of surgery. Of course, we know about O'Neal and Darisaw, as well as they've allowed 28 sacks, a 42.3% pressure rate. They can get a decent run game going the last couple of games. It's just been a mess, and that does come down to coaching, because you see around the league where the other offensive lines have these injuries. They're on their second and third string guys, and they're able to form a coherent unit. We have not seen that outside of parts of the Browns game. So offensive line coach Chris Cooper should be cruising for a bruising. Number 7, Hargrave and Allen so far. So Hargrave and Allen getting those huge premium contracts. Jonathan Allen getting $51 million. Of course, they're basically 1-year deals, but in terms of allocation of cap and capital, it just hasn't been good so far. It looked really good week 1 because they combined for 2 sacks, both of them from Hargrave, and 13 pressures, and you're like, all right, here we go. But then the rest of the way, they only have 1.5 sacks as well as only 18 pressures over the subsequent 6 games. So it just hasn't been there. And frankly, the best defensive lineman during this season has been Jalen Redmond, right? So just frustrating. Free agency swings and misses. Kwesi deserves a little bit of heat as well, but also the players just hammering checks. Yeah, and the pass rush besides Grenard and J-Red. So their top 2 in pressures. Grenard is out here playing his ass off. Jalen Redmond is coming a star before our eyes, but everyone else. And also, Diamond Dallas Turner has been especially disappointing because not only is he not getting consistent pressure on the quarterback, he had that late hit against Herbert, as well as he's being washed out against the run. He doesn't have that size yet to be able to hold strong. And with Andrew Van Ginkel out, he's been starting, right? And he hasn't done a ton with it. And they got Pace, who's one of the best blitzing linebackers in the league, but also has missed 10 tackles, been benched twice now, sort of looks like. And basically everyone else besides Grenard and Redmond, Allen, Hargrave, Cashman just got back. So it's been a mess. And not being able to consistently get to the passer and close on the passer is why the secondary is getting shredded. And the entire damn defense, man. 65 missed tackles, a 110.1 quarterback rating when thrown at. They're 29th in the league in yards per carry, and also 11 passing touchdowns allowed. Other than that, really, really good. Also, they've already had their bye. And lastly, number 10, just penalties, both for the offense, defense, special teams. They're all procedural penalties too, or a large portion of them are. Just low execution. Like as I said, Kevin O'Connell and Flores haven't forgotten how to coach, and they've had great success here before. So it does come down to execution and also just the vibes. Like there's not the same juice as there was last year. Now, obviously, having a 14-win season will amp up the juice a little bit. Plus, I don't know, letting Cam Beasley walk, was that a mistake? Paying Theo Jackson, Josh Metellus. And Josh Metellus is one of my favorite players, man, but he was just picked on last night in coverage. It was just terrible. It was just not good. And I don't know, it just feels like last year it was about family, it was about focus, it was about everything. This time around, I don't know, man. But it still is early in the season. They still have time to get up off the mat, figure it out. I know people talk about wanting to tank, except what are you going to be looking for? Nah, it's not going to be it, man. But go out there, strap it up, strap it on, nut up, as Blake Cashman said. Let's get after this thing, right? Because you know that Las Vegas is going to be trying to make a call on that Lions game. It's all the money coming in on Lions, but yeah. Anyways, that's it. Top 10 disappointments of the 3-4 Minnesota Fighting Vikings this season. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.